Shalom everyone. I'm in the train now. This in the Dutch province Limburg. I believe in English say Limburg. I'm not sure. Anyway, Limburg officially is not a province of the Netherlands, but today they consider it a province of the Netherlands. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Well, here's a landscape, flat, even though there are some hills around. Look, I want to talk about the fear porn that has become quite popular since, after 9/11, especially after the Paris attacks on Friday the 13th of November 2015. Look, people think human beings that are twisted in their minds and that want to harm others have always existed. You see? So this whole ISIS or ISIL thing is not something new. Okay? I'm not saying that there is no revolution going on. That's a part of this ISIL threat. I'm not denying it. But what I do see happen is that a lot of people permit the media to scare them. They permit fear to get a hold of them. Okay, first things first, guys. If these terrorist groups were really so efficient and powerful as the media portrays them to be, then why didn't they ever attack Israel? Why didn't they attack um, the parliament houses of the countries they are targeting? I mean, just think about it. If you are an Islamic, or let me say, if you are a jihadist terror group, you have hundreds of millions of dollars, you have petrol in your hand, and you also have a lot of loose people throughout Europe and other places on earth that are vowing allegiance onto you. Why don't you attack the government houses? Shut down the whole country. You don't see that happen. What you do see are either lone wolf attacks or messed up attacks. And I'm not saying those attacks are not impactful, they have an impact, they are wrong, but you still don't see any professional warfare coming from such groups. Yet, in people's mind, they've elevated this ISIS or ISIL or Al Qaeda or however you name it, they've elevated these groups to a divine status. Seriously, don't permit that to get a hold of you. I'll tell you why. First of all, um, for example, in the USA, there are more people dying by racist police officers who shouldn't even be police officers that shoot innocent people, especially Afro Americans. In 2015 alone, almost 1,000 people were shot and killed by the police without any reason. 1,000 people. Okay, besides that, you had mass shootings happened also in 2015 that also killed a lot of people. Mentally ill people that had guns that went out shooting people. And then you also had, the common homicides between husbands and the husbands killing wives, wives plotting against their husbands, vice versa. And you also have veterans that return home to the USA that are so enraged and bitter against the American society, and they begin to kill people also and attack people. So, for America alone, Americans harm Americans more than ISIS do. So, for Americans to fear ISIS or to fear Muslims coming to destroy the country, it's bullcrap. Serious bullcrap. In Europe, most people don't have guns. Yet homicide happens. People use knives or people use stones. Sometimes they throw people in front of trains. You see, they do other crazy stuff here. And besides, people have many guns here, but a lot of people want to commit suicide because they're so depressed of life. They don't see any, meaning. They don't feel as if their existence has any value anymore. And society is here permitted and pretend it's not such a big deal. So when you look at what we call the Western world, people from the Western world ruin their own Western world without the threat of ISIS or Islamic jihadism. So yes, there are Islamic jihadist groups that want to harm people, but look at the statistics. Those terror groups, those terror groups killed more Muslims than they killed non-Muslims. So if you're realistic about it, you can expect more danger from your fellow countrymen than from terrorists that decide to, attack to make some political statements. Now, I'm not saying that terrorism ain't. I'm not saying terrorism is non-existent. It exists. But come on now, to permit your whole routine of your life, to permit your relationships to suffer because of something that might happen that probably will never happen. I'm going to reveal to you why the media bombards you with fear. Why? Because people that are afraid, you see, when they are afraid, they become narrow-minded. Their mind turns into a tunnel vision. The only thing they're focused upon is to be relieved from fear and be relieved from the emotional pain that's caused by the fear. So that will enable addictions. That will enable compulsions within people. And when you have people that are addicted and with compulsions, now you need stronger governments to externally control the people. So now people will cry out for more government, because when you have a population that's scared, bad stuff happen. People act out. People begin to hallucinate. So who is benefiting from the fear porn that's being spread around? First of all, the national governments and also corporations, because there's another dirty secrets they don't want to tell you. People that are addicted to relief from emotional pain tends to be very loyal customers. Every time a new iPhone comes out, every time a new jeans come out of a brand, they buy it. So fear porn benefits the interest of local governments and capitalist corporations. It's good business in making money to scare people. But a lot of people don't think about it. So that's why I'm revealing that to you now. And there's another sick part of this. By spreading fear porn and speaking that, they are adding oil to the fire. Yes, there is terrorism. And one major reason for people becoming terrorists is emotional detachment from their environment, from the community around them. Is emotional neglect contributes a lot to people becoming radicalized. You see, but the thing is, by all this fear porn, people become more emotionally detached. People become more addicted. So those terror groups that are small now, they are growing and growing by the abuse that the capitalistic corporations who worship mammon and the static governments are doing to their own populations. So basically, yes, you have ISIS, ISIL, Al-Qaeda, and all those Islamic jihadist groups. You have them, but you also have those capitalist corporations and those local governments who are together in harming people. Now, they're not working together, at least I'm not aware of them working together. The local governments and corporations maybe, But those terror groups are just taking advantage of the situation. So what can you do? You cannot stop them, neither the terrorists, neither the governments, neither the corporations. What you should do is just say no. Just reject the stories they are telling you. If you're watching the news, because listen, journalists do reveal things that are happening. However, the news stations, they edit the stories of the journalists and they don't tell you everything. Or if they do give you facts, they present the facts in such a manner to suggest um, an action upon you. So listen, when you're watching the news and the story just doesn't add up, then just realize that there may be something fishy going on here. And if just pray about it. And if you realize that the story is plain bullshit, then just throw it out. Just throw it out. And if you're at the workplace and people are talking about the the terror threat or the possibility that something might happen, just don't give in to the conversation. Be uncomfortable and just avoid talking to those people for a while. It's not worth it to have interaction with people who are fear driven and don't want to see that they are fear driven. The reason I'm making this video is because, seriously, a lot of folks just give in to the fear porn that's being spread around. And what they don't realize is that by doing that, they are helping and enabling and advancing the agendas of the terrorists. And let me tell you where this is going. Soon, because a lot of people are stressed out and paranoid because something might happen, they'll begin to hallucinate dangers that aren't there, and people begin to accuse one another. Tension will rise, emotional pain will increase, more release people will seek, and eventually people will begin to fight amongst each other. Now we want more police, more government, and the little civil liberties that we have now will be taken away in the name of security. And with the increase of the police state, you will have sociopaths and psychopaths that will be promoted to positions of authority. And then you will have a tyrannical government, basically, in a tyrannical society. And when that happens, people will begin to look for victims to charge with the negativity of the whole community. That's what happens during Nazi Germany and through other evil empires throughout history. And the same is playing out right now in front of us. And we just don't realize it. So agree with Christ Jesus. Don't agree with the bull crap that the world is selling to you. That being said, you all enjoy your day. May the grace of Christ Jesus be with you. Shalom.